Besides attacking McDonald's employees for sauce packets, what's the worst fanboy meltdown you've seen in public? Someone dressed as an anime character at a Japanese culture and history festival flipped his shit because there was nothing anime related and started shouting complaints at vendors and exhibit owners. He thought it was an anime convention. Teresa Japanese cultural festival in my city. Teresa shitload of anime stuff there, and like a quarter of the attendees are cosplayers, but it's ostensibly just a cultural festival. The actual Japanese people that are there running the booths and performances for it always look disgusted. Skyrim Midnight Launch. The only store in town that had one. Pre-orders only. Now they did have copies they sold that weren't pre-ordered, but it was first come first serve. So it's not like the employees were being dicks about it. I grab my pre-ordered copy, my mate grabs his. Our other friend showed up about 10 minutes after we did, so we waited for him. While we're waiting, some dude walked to the counter and asked for a copy, but had no pre-order. Sorry mate, none left. We had very limited copies that weren't pre-orders. Dude just ducking lost it. Started rambling about how fucked up his life is and his one piece of hope was Elder Scrolls. He literally starts the waterworks as he starts knocking shit around the store as he's leaving. Yelling at people for taking his game from him. We could hear him screaming, gut-wrenching screaming, all the way down the road. Guy was mentally unhinged. Wife and I took our nieces to the Naruto movie premiere. Movie was good, lots of mainly teenage girls screaming and cheering every time Naruto had a scene. Because it was the premiere, they had a documentary afterwards about the cast. Turns out Naruto is played by a middle-aged Irish-American lady named Miley Flanagan. Her parents must have looked up most Irish-sounding name ever in the baby book. Ever heard of several hundred young teenage girls' fantasies just evaporate all at the same time? It was epic. There were tears, there were shouts of anger. I suspect poor Miley got some nasty fan mail. Update, apparently it's Hawaiian, but it sounds Irish to me. When I was little I went and saw the Pippi Longstocking movie. I loved me some Pippi Longstocking. Well, the credits begin rolling and my sister is reading them out and I had a full-on meltdown. Pippi isn't real? Pippi isn't real? Crying and being ridiculous. My family still won't let me live it down. Don't worry, I feel your pain. You should have seen the waterworks when I found out Daryl Hannah wasn't actually a mermaid. I don't drink and I don't play poker, but I won the poker tourney at the local brewery. The guy sitting next to me the whole night, wearing sunglasses, talking probability, and complaining that I wasn't paying attention to the game, really flipped out. And it was glorious. I won a gift certificate for beer. Saw a kid get tackled by BK employees over the gold Pokemon cards. Remember those Pokemon Gold cards that came in the giant Pokeballs that Burger King used to sell? I had friends obsessed with those damn things. Trying to get all 6. Or 10. I forget how many. They believed they'd be worth millions in the future. Our local BKS sold out of them very quickly, and I saw a kid jump the register and run to the back trying to find one. He thought they had more in the back end. I'm not sure what he was planning to do beyond that, but he definitely tried before being tackled and held back by several employees. The 90s were a weird time. I feel like most fast food places wouldn't care that much nowadays to tackle and pin down a customer. But, well, there you go. It was 6. Source, I have all of them still. I don't think they're worth millions though. Edit, I'm seeing between $5 and $15 each on eBay. Charizard seems the most valuable. The Beanie Baby craze. 1998 to 2000 I worked my first job at McDonald's and people were fist fighting each other for them. Crowded as all hell on a Saturday afternoon, crying kids, and the police had to be called. Nowadays most Beanie Babies are worth diddly squat. I worked at a toy store around 98, also ask me about Tickle Me Elmo, and Tamagotchi, that did not carry Beanie Babies. So many crying kids because they wanted the cute stuffed animal, but mom wouldn't let them because, it's not a tie, sweetheart, you don't want it. Cause every kid wants a stuffed animal that they're not allowed to touch. Ever. When the Tickle Me Elmo toys first came out they didn't think the demand was going to be so high and they ended up not making enough. People literally got into fist fights with each other because they wanted a stupid kid's toy for their 5-year-old child. Just like Cabbage Patch Kids in the 80s. And the woman who unfortunately died trying to get a Wii from a water drinking contest. Edit, added the word water to stop the confusion. Nintendo has always been bad at supply and demand. Super Mario Bros. 2 started fistfights back in the day and amiibos have started armed robberies today. Yoshitaka Amano, the artist that created the art of the Final Fantasy franchise, attended an anime convention way back and severely underestimated his popularity in the US. After his panel was over, he agreed to sign merchandise. But instead of just signing stuff, he drew pictures, and even looked at other people's artwork. The line for this weaved seemingly forever at the hotel, but he had a plane to catch and had to leave. A few fans went so nuts in line that he stayed until the entire line was done. As much as I regret he had to deal with that situation, I was at the back of the line and still got a Final Fantasy book signed, with a very quickly drawn image of a girl, from the best gaming fantasy illustrator in existence. Edit: for those wondering what the signature drawing looks like, here you go. I didn't want to rub it in, but I actually got him to sign 2 Final Fantasy books. Sorry it took forever to do this, but these were in storage and I've been too busy to dig them out. I totally forgot how big the Dawn book was, the one he drew the picture in. 15 inches tall. Imgur.com. Wow, mad respect to him for that. Respect concern: it was a hostage situation. It's just something about Japanese culture. I will stay and listen to a person talk to me even if it really inconveniences me or I really don't want to be there. So, when The Phantom Menace came out, there were lots of Jedis dueling with fluorescent colored PVC tubes in front of the theater. I am not sure what saber fighting style a few of them were using, but in the ongoing sloppiness someone got hit with a PVC tube pretty hard. What shortly ensued was a few real fights with PVC tubes and a multitude of red-faced Jedis re-reeing at each other, swinging at each other like they were piñatas. It was more entertaining than the movie. Should have tried spinning. That's a good trick. San Diego Comic-Con. Every damn year it gets worse and worse. The lines are unmanageable. From people cutting in line, fighting, screaming and all-out nerd raging, it's a mess. Want to see grown men fight over Funko Pops? Magic the Gathering cards? Mundo posters? Shopkins? We'll come to SDCC. More people need to see this. I got in because my mate worked for a company involved with several of the larger booths. I always wondered about going and now I had the chance. It's just a overcrowded shopping floor full of overpriced toys and merchandise. People fighting over shit they could buy online cheaper. Honestly, it was kinda boring. I was done with it in about an hour. In the 5th grade there was this kid in my class who was obsessed with Hermione Granger. Not Emma Watson, but her character from Harry Potter. I'm talking 15 to 20 different pictures in his locker and like plastered on his folders, binders, etc. In short, it was too much. One day a kid in our class called him gay and said he only liked Hermione because she looked like a boy. Wrong move. He lost it. Instantly started crying. Bawling is a better description. Then after about 30 seconds of utter emotional meltdown he attacked the kid, clawing at his eyes, pulling hair, all the while screaming at the top of his lungs, "Hermione Granger is beautiful. Hermione Granger is beautiful." One of the strangest experiences of my life. Edit: thanks for my first gold stranger. Also, this casually increased my karma tenfold. NBD. Update on the kid who flipped out. Didn't really keep up with him but seemed to be a pretty normal guy. Joined the military after high school, mostly to pay for college, I gather. I mean, when I was in grade 5 I had a crush on Emma Watson, but I kept it low-key, like masturbating in my bedroom about it. I've seen hardcore Magic players flip tables at FNM. It gets way too intense to even enjoy going anymore. I had a boyfriend for about 2 weeks who was really into Magic. He'd flip tables on a weekly basis. The second time it happened I was out. That, coupled with telling me my grandma's a horrible person for buying me tickets to a show because he was going to buy them and now his plan is ruined. That dude had issues. I had a 50-year-old woman in tears at my store because I didn't have an iPhone 8 Plus in gold. She had to get silver. McDonald's had My Little Pony toys a few years back. The cops got called to the McDo down the block from my house because some ducking brony went in for a Rarity or a Pinkie Pie. I can't remember which one it was. They were all out, and he straight had the most maximum fedora fit on the face of the planet. He tried to knock down the toy display to get the toy he wanted out of it, except it's bolted to the wall. Found out later from one of the workers that it was the same guy I got banned from the nearby mall for literally following me everywhere I went. I was highly unsurprised. Wait a minute, we gotta hear this mall story. I was in college to be a sped teacher and thus was very nice while working at my mall job to anyone who seemed to be having trouble out in public. Fortunately, I had some regulars who would ask for me specifically because they had told me their issues with certain scents or textures, and I could assist them better. Unfortunately, there was a high-functioning guy who thought because I was nice, I must want to date him, and one day he followed me from the corner of the street into the mall, a full mile. I was shit terrified and near tears when one of my leads found me power walking to the security booth. She escorted me there and the guards banned him after she explained that he had been asked to not come back to our shop previously for harassing me. The guy was way taller than me too. I know some high-functioning people that have their quirks issues, but what the actual duck? He would come in and would talk at me about Let's Play and PewDiePie all the time, and I'd try to be nice, engage him a little bit, then be like, well, dude, I gotta get back to the grind. If you need any help, just ask any of the other folks here while I get this inventory done. Smile, smile, smiles. He would then just follow me around and breathe. It would freak customers out because I'd be trying to help them, and he's like that duckin' kid from Hey Arnold, mouth breathing behind me. Hey now, Brainy wasn't that creepy. He was just battered into silence. Helga broke him.